delighted that each and every one of you are here to stand with me and tell our government, both federal and state and local, that we have had enough. I'd like to start just asking us all to take a moment of silence in memory of the men who have fought so hard in our city to ensure our safety. The 3 officers who just recently died: Eric Kelly, Stephen Maley, and Paul Sculio. If we can just take a moment. I'd like to start with our opening prayer. We have distinguished guest Bob Flowers, liberty and justice for all. And here with us today to sing the national anthem is Emily Weaver. And you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave? I would just ask that you see someone in a blue t-shirt, they're part of our Tax Day Tea Party, or just notify a policeman. I want to let you all know we'd like for you to become members of our Tea Party family, and we'd appreciate it if you'd sign up at our table, which we have over here. Audra, can you stand up or wave something? It's right here. It's right in this region. But if you could all sign up, we'll know who you are and we can email you about future events. Anybody who has brought food for the local food pantry, if you want to bring it up front, we greatly appreciate it. And if we have anyone who's not a registered voter, at this table we also have voter registration packets which you can fill out. So, ladies and gentlemen, the founding fathers knew about oppressive government. They fled their country where they were oppressed to a land of freedom. And in this country, a generation fought to be free. Free to practice their religion, free to say in public what they thought, free to bear arms, and free to acquire and possess property and protect it. Many of these men, courageous, just, and honorable men, gave their lives, the ultimate sacrifice for this cause. And knowing the burden of the oppressive government, the father of our country provided a structure of government to prevent oppression, to promote general welfare, and to secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. It is not we, the government, but we, the people. One nation under God. We, the people, people acknowledge that God, not government, gives each of us these inalienable rights: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. In this world, government naturally grows more powerful, more all-embracing, and if it could, it would make us weaker and more dependent on it. To keep us free, the founders gave us the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. The founders put limits on government. So government must have the consent of the governed. Ladies and gentlemen, today we face a constitutional crisis. Our founding fathers would roll over in their graves if they saw what was happening and how quickly it's happening. I don't know if you saw the notice from U.S. Homeland Security warning about people like us, where we have the same values as our founding fathers, and they call us extremists.
Call me an extremist.
Politicians have betrayed us.
Like Adam.
This administration and Congress are rejecting the values on which this country was built and leading a free nation down the path to bondage and socialism. More and more, there are two groups of people in this country: those who pay taxes and those who don't. A free people shares the burden of taxation fairly. The government of a free people does not favor one group or any class. It has no special interests, not the banks, not the mortgage companies, not the auto companies, not the unions. The government of a free people, one people, does not take money from one group to buy votes from the other. Look closely at government records and the tax rules. Only half are paying federal taxes. And who are they? The ones who are working hard and earning more money, not those that expect government to subsidize them. If you didn't pay taxes, who would you want to elect? Why, of course, it's someone who would give you a free ride. To make this work, government has to hire more bureaucrats, again at our expense. If you look at the stimulus package, it gives $5 billion to Acorn. Which in turn pays their people $15 for each person that they sign up as voters for their socialist agenda. The government of a free people does not pass a bill that it hasn't read. Especially if that bill is the most expensive bill in the entire history of the world. A bill that will rob us of our freedoms and will crush us and our children with debt. The media and the government tells us the stimulus package isn't going to hurt that much, but they aren't doing the math. Stanford economist Michael Boskin says that new spending will cost tax-paying families $163,000 each for each family. That's over 10 years. And that's a nice house in Pittsburgh. That's the kind of burden they're putting on our children's back. You know, we in Pennsylvania have a senator, Arlen Specter, who didn't read our stimulus.
Throw the bum out!
He didn't read it, yet he voted for it. The government of a free people does not bind future generations to our debts. I don't know if you've ever seen the tax code. I'm actually a CPA and an MBA, and I specialize in taxation. But the codes and the regs, if you stack them up, they'd be about that high. And do you think many people in government understand what's inside them? Most don't even do their own taxes.
They don't pay them anyway.
they're saying, very few of them understand basic economics, supply and demand, rational pricing. Even before Obama was elected, if you did the math, you could see that our country was headed for disaster. Take Social Security. Along with your employers, each of us pays into Social Security and FICA. And that's about 15% of our annual earnings, up to about $100,000. And our government